Welcome to this EBO Interactive workshop. We'll be looking at automating customer service through AI and how you can automate 80% of your customer support calls using this platform.
By 2022, Gartner predict that 85% of all customer service interactions in the telco space will start with self-service, right? And this is up from 48% in 2021. So we're seeing a doubling of a move towards self-service interactions. And this is exactly where we at EBO focus. We focus on building virtual agents, which are designed to be indistinguishable from human agents because they continuously learn, just like a human does, to perform tasks more accurately and more efficiently. And we know that every customer is unique. So the virtual agent strives to create this personalized service each time.
COVID helped us is that it helped us develop this global understanding that people are not willing to come to shop anymore. So we created jointly with legal, regulatory, and all the other teams a process that is super sound, super safe, and super digital, and of course COVID friendly, and customers love it. So you don't have to come to physically to shop anymore.
The digital first approach over the last few years has given customers these apps to allow them to self-serve. But what that's done is it's removed the touch points between the operators and the customers. So customers come onto the platforms and they self-serve and they go away and they might be happy, but the operators have missed an opportunity to have a dialogue, to be cynical about it, to upsell or cross-sell or to engage in different ways. Those opportunities have just disappeared. With automation and the dialogue, all of a sudden you get that opportunity back.
What we typically see on the ground is that staff are burnt out. They're burnt out with the difficulties around COVID, but they are burnt out because they receive the same type of inbound requests, 600-700 times a day. Now, that burnout typically leads to agent attrition, right? And more stress on the HR team to recruit and retrain. What we're seeing AI being able to do is it is very effective in the capturing of knowledge. We're not simply talking about FAQs here. We're talking about the knowledge which allows you to realize that a specific sentiment or tone is correlated to customer attrition, and so that a specific resolution method is better than another. This type of knowledge, which is often captured in the heads of our best agents, is lost when those agents leave.
I think it's a pivotal turning point for telcos. With the advent of 5G and the adoption of AI technologies, telcos can really prove their worth as a technology company and really drive innovation. What I love most about virtual agents, being Greek and coming from a temperamental nation, virtual agents don't have bad days. I've picked lots of fights with customer support people, or I myself am having a bad day. But with virtual agents, you get that smooth experience. You don't get them. They don't have bad days. They don't get tired, and they're there 24/7.
And I'm just going to take you through 3 use cases. Examples of what our research are showing us could be really good ways that virtual agents could support and add value within the telco sector. So the customer will come up. Now, using artificial intelligence, we just encourage the customer to just type in exactly what the issue is. In this case, my internet is not working. Can you help me? Okay, sometimes a standard response can help, but sometimes it can trigger that kind of response as well. In this case, what we'll do is we'll go to an initial layer. We'll say, look, we'll log a ticket for you.
John showed us a couple of emojis being used, which are a representation of the emotional state. There's so much sentiment, there's so much intent, there's so much external data, such as the device being used, the connection type, the location, all of this environmental data with the consent of the user can help us capture more information to profile and serve our customers better. But I think let's also talk brass tacks here. It's about cost competitiveness. We need to reduce payroll strain. We need to automate when possible. We need to reduce the complexity that typically is associated with some administrative workflows.
So the first one is understanding the customer to the point of even predicting what they're about to ask. The second one is the data that it provides that allows us to learn. And the third thing that the agent speaks the language. And by that, I mean, speak the language in not a robotic way, but more empathetic way, but also speak the actual language.
In fact, in an interesting report, the CMO Council organization says that 14% of marketeers actually only 14% believe that customer centricity and customer obsession is a true, the core of their culture of their company. And in fact, they believe that only 11% of customers would actually agree with that customer centricity characterization. So we've been at it for many years across all industries, but there's still a lot of way to go. And I think what we need to think about when we talk about customer centricity and obsession is you don't just have to fix the outward facing experience, that wow experience, maximizing those wow experiences and minimizing those ouch experiences. It's really about internalizing and operationalizing internally customer centricity culture.
A lot of people talk about being customer centric, but very few telcos are actually able to do it. Let's face it, this is the general problem for many of us, right? And to go that direction, there are several elements. Many of this were touched upon. The first one, we need to sort out our data. I mean, we're not collecting the data in a seamless manner that the hyperscalers do. The second, every virtual agent that we buy or we develop in-house needs to be integrated in all these systems to act upon whatever these agents are giving us. This is still not completed, and we are struggling to get there. So technology is a second issue. And the third, it's skills. Skills, and skills. We need to reskill, upskill our people. So I would like to finish with this, I would say, optimistic view that there's no other way. If we not nail it, we're out of the business.
So EBO and the key virtual agent proposition needs to play well. It needs to play well with back office tools, with the downstream tools. It needs to play well upstream with the messaging platforms which are absorbed by the culture. And it needs to allow this open data flow freely in and out. And not simply because it's critical for our intellectual property, but it's critical for personalization.
In the light of telco, we do indeed have a lot of manpower, especially in call centers and especially in, let's say, retail front and everything else there. I think there will be a bit of a breather because the customer experience will definitely improve. I don't necessarily support the theory that AI will necessarily reduce people. I think it will just change occupation and open another jobs and create additional value added for the telcos and all other industries as well.
My final takeaway, AI is a transformation tool that is easily applicable and that can change your customer service and customer support and keep you ahead of the competition. I think that's my takeaway. Thank you very much for everybody, and thanks for joining us. And we'll see you at the next webinar, which will be around about the end of July.